Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 20 of the Christmas Craft Countdown 2025. I can hardly believe we're already on the last day. It has flown by so quickly. But there's still one more project left to share with you, and today we're going back to something 3D. And it's this beautiful angel to go on top of your Christmas tree, or because she is freestanding, you could display her anywhere you want to. She's really shiny and beautiful, lots of detail in her skirt. Now, before I start, I am going to just mention a little bit of problems I had with this, and that was because I wanted to make her shiny and I only had really thick cardstock. It made it a little bit tricky to fold around the skirt and to get the shaping. If you use a thinner card, so light to medium weight cardstock, it would be a little easier. But if you use the extra super duper thick card like I've done, as you can see, it is still possible because she looks really nice. And I do like the shine. You can just about see the glitter in her there. She's got a hollow base for fitting over the top of the tree or to make her freestanding. So here's how to get the files, and then let's get started. The files for this project are free for the next 24 hours. Here's how to download them. Register a free ticket for the Christmas Craft Countdown at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas25. After registering, you'll get an email which contains a link to the schedule page for the countdown. Visit the schedule page to find and download today's files. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you've missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas25 bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Christmas Craft Countdown, plus loads of extra bonus designs. Or purchase just the design from this video at craftwithsarah.com/products. To find the designs from this countdown, click into the Occasions filter and choose Christmas. The designs will appear here each day once the free versions have expired. The download comes in a zip folder. You need to unzip this before uploading the SVG files into your cutting machine software. For instructions on how to use the cut files, visit craftwithsarah.com/help and choose Cricut, Silhouette, or Scan and Cut. Within there are dedicated help guides on topics such as how to upload SVGs, how to modify them to make custom projects, framing tips, and how to cut cardstock with your type of machine. If you have any questions, email hello@craftwithsarah.com. Now, on with today's project. This is what the Christmas angel design looks like loaded into Cricut Design Space. It will make an angel which is 7 3/4 inches tall. If you want to resize it, then make sure the padlock icon between the width and the height box is closed. If yours is open, click it to close it. You can then type either the width or the height, and the other measurement will change in proportion. The reason I sized her to 7 3/4 inches is that's the maximum size we'll be able to cut on A4 paper. That's the cardstock we use most often here in the UK. If you're using US letter size paper, you might need to make it a little bit smaller. If you're using 12 by 12, you can make her bigger, up to 11.5 inches on the longest side. I don't recommend going too much smaller, probably no smaller than around about 6 inches tall, otherwise some of the bits will get hard to cut, and also you might find that she won't fit on your Christmas tree if she's too much smaller. You need a good amount of space in the base in order for it to go on top of those tree branches. I'm keeping mine at the original size of 7 3/4 inches tall. There are a few things we need to do in Cricut Design Space before our angel is ready to cut. First, ungroup the layers. Click the design and press the ungroup button underneath. We can now see all of the pieces down here. Scroll to the bottom of the layers panel, and then underneath here you'll see there are 3 other separate groups. That indicates that these 3 bits have got score lines. Click on the chevron icon next to one of them to open it up, and then you can see the score line shown as that single line on top. Click on it, and then under Basic Cut along the top, change it to Score. Then click on the top group name, the one with the chevron icon, to select both those layers. You see they've both gone green over here. With them both selected, press Attach. Okay, so that's that one done. Now I need to do the next one. Click the chevron to open it. Click on the first layer in there. This time it looks like 2 diagonal lines. And change that to Score along the top. Click the group name to select both of the layers and then press Attach either at the bottom here or the paperclip under here. Then there's one more. Open it up and that's those same kind of diagonal lines. And change that to Score, click and Attach. And that's it, that's all you need to change. When cutting this out, you can use whatever colours you want, but I think she looks especially lovely when cut with a little bit of shine and sparkle. I'll be using 2 colours of gold for her wings and then a silver for this grey colour, and I think I've even got a pearly sparkly white I can use for the white layers. Then I'll use plain cardstock for her face and her hair and her hands. When you're ready to cut, press Make over on the top right, and then it will separate out all the colours for you. You can change the paper size in the drop down here, and then you can click and drag to move things about. I think I can get all this onto one sheet. Let's give it a go. Drag a box around both of them, click the 3 dots and move Object. Make sure you choose the same colour and press Confirm. And, or maybe not. Maybe I can't get them both onto one. May have been too ambitious here. You can't have anything overlapping. Otherwise, it won't cut out properly. I think that's just going to be too big to get it all on one. So close. Oh, I've done it. There we go. That's not overlapping. That's not overlapping. And that all fits on one sheet. Amazing. So it's up to you if you want to play about to get it to fit on less sheets of card, or you can just do it as it comes and use more bits of card. It's quicker to do that way, but you'll use up more of your card stash. If you've got any empty bits left at the end, don't worry, they'll be removed when you move on to the next step. When you've got all of your bits of card looking exactly as you want, press Continue to connect to your Cricut and follow the on-screen instructions to get everything cut from cardstock. Here are all of the pieces of my angel cut out, and I'll be putting her together with barely art glue, but I also like Halal as an alternative. The reason I like these glues is they don't bend or wrinkle the card like some glues can do. We're going to start by putting some of the pieces together by doing the gluing before we start doing the 3D effect. It'll be easier to glue all the pieces together first. So I'm going to take the front of her with all of her face. We've got this silver bit here, and then next up we've got the bit for her face that looks like this. This one gets glued to the back of this piece so it fills in her neck. Turn that over, add a bit of glue all the way around. And stick this on the back. Turn it back to the front. And next is the red piece. And I think I might actually use a foam square for this to pop out her face a little bit from the rest of the design. So I use these from Dot and Dab. These are 2mm thick and 5x5mm in size, but any will do. I hadn't actually planned on using foam squares, but I think it'll look nice. If you don't have any, you can just glue this on instead. Line it up and push down to stick. Next up is this piece with the little hole for the mouth. That's the bit of red that we'll see for her lips. Line it up as closely as you can because you don't want to see any red peeking out the outside, only in that little bit in the middle. Next is the top part of her face. This will line up so that you can see the red still for her lips. And then her eyes and nose get filled in with the darker brown from the layer underneath. And then finally, if I can pick it up, is her hair layer for the very top. And there's our pretty angel face all done. Also glue the two bits for the wings together. But first up, it'll be easier to fold the score lines. So that's these two here. You can just about see that. Fold them backwards away from you. Like that. And the same on the top one. It's a little hard to get it directly on that score line. Especially if you've used really thick card like I've done. Makes it a little harder. There we go. Then these will glue on top, but don't add any glue exactly where those score lines are, as it will just be a bit difficult to stick there. It works best if you don't add any glue to these bits, these two spiky bits, because if you do, it's a little bit hard for it to grip once we make this 3D, but everywhere else can have some glue. This is where the Burley Art glue is great because it's got such a thin nozzle on it. I was just about to put glue on the bit I said not to put glue on. I caught myself just in time. If I'd done it on that side, no I haven't. Good. Sometimes when I'm adding glue I just kind of get in the zone and don't really think about what I'm doing. Push down quite gently. You want to try not to smush the glue all out of the sides so that you can see it, but if you're using the Burley Art glue it does dry clear, so if a bit does come out it doesn't matter too much. I'm resting my hands ever so carefully and gently on top of this to give it the lightest push down, hardly putting any pressure on it at all. Just want it to stay. There we are. And we can leave that to dry. Next up, we'll glue the hands in place. A little bit of glue on the back of each hand, and then line it up with each one here. And I just absolutely put the glue on the wrong side of that one, so I'm going to switch it over to this side and hope it still matches up, which it does. Okay, let's pay more attention this time. Right. At least I didn't have to recut it. There we are, her hands. And then on top is this piece, which will glue onto the front. Move that to one side and then take these two pieces. Got the solid colour underneath and then the stars on top and glue them one on top of each other. Right, that's the main gluing bits done. Now we can start putting this together. We could glue this bit on at this point, or we could do it once she's all been made nice and 3D. It's up to you. My glue's coming apart a little bit here. Problem with using glitter card is nothing really sticks to it very well. I think I'll add that bit on afterwards so it'll be a bit easier to fold this round. Okay, we need to fold inwards along the score line that goes down there. So fold it backwards away from you. I'm starting to regret using really thick card for this. Hopefully it will still go around okay. So what we're going to do is fold it round into a cone shape until the two bits overlap with each other, and then glue the bit on the right hand side on top of those tabs. And I think mine's going to be quite problematic because I've used card that's so thick. So I'm going to grab some paper clips to hold it in place while the glue dries. This might be a project for hot glue, just for this bit. That might be easier. I don't think I've got my hot glue gun at home with me. I think it's at my studio, which is a 10-minute drive away. So we're going with regular glue. Okay. Fold it round. Ooh, don't put your finger in it like I just did. Double-sided tape might also work here, but it might not quite be strong enough to keep the hold. And I have also run out of that. I've been doing too many projects recently, running out of everything. Okay, put that on there to hold that one in place. I think this one up here I'll have to just hold with my fingers until that glue dries. I might be able to get a little paper clip on. Let's see. Aha, perfect. Okay, I'm still going to hold it even with the paper clips on, just to make absolutely sure it's going to glue right. So I'm probably going to be here for a few minutes. Let's pause the video and come back when the glue's dry. My glue isn't dry yet, but I've just noticed that the front of my angel, this is supposed to be glued flat up against the cone, but mine's popped off because the glue wasn't quite strong enough. So what I'll do is add some more glue on there and then hold it really firmly into place, and I'll paper clip it as well until the glue's fully dried so that it follows the curve of the cone around. Just wanted to jump in and show you that in case yours has done that as well. I think all my glue is dry now. I put some masking tape over this to hold it in place while it was drying, and someone had a great tip at my Halloween craft countdown, which is if you're using masking tape on cardstock, put it on your trousers or your jumper a couple of times before you put it on the project. So you see I've got essence of jeans on there, but it means it's not so sticky, so it's less likely to damage the card when you pull it off. Take the paper clips out. There we go. There's my angel all standing up. If the front of her's kind of puckered inwards a bit, just gently bend her so that this front bit is nice and straight. Next up, we'll add, what should we do? We could either do the wings or we could do the decoration along the side. I think the side's probably going to be easier to do next. Okay, so we've got two of these bits. The line, the vertical line, the straight line, will line up along the back here, so along that bit where we glued. And then it will fold around near the bottom and overlap that bit at the front. And then the same on the other side. Again, because we're gluing in a curve shape, it's not going to want to stay there, particularly with glitter card. So we'll need to persevere, use those paper clips, use some masking tape if you need to, hold it in place until the glue's dry. Fairly close to the bottom, so that the swirly scalloped edge runs along the bottom of the dress. It will go up a little bit so you see a little bit of silver at the bottom and then overlap with the front. This is going to keep popping off. Paper clip to the rescue. Curl it round. It doesn't quite line up along the bottom, it sort of goes over the top to give the illusion of lots of layers in the skirt. I need to hold all of these swirly whirly bits in place while that glue dries, and then do the same for the other one on the other side with the matching piece. My glue's still drying on the skirt, so I'll leave the paper clips on for now, but we can move on and add the wings to the inside. Add some glue down the front up to almost where it starts going in and gets that little bit thinner. Glue down there quite a lot of it. And then this is going to poke down. We've got a hole at the top of the angel down here. It's going to poke in there and then glue to the inside. Sliding it in and hold that in place until the glue dries. While it's there, bend the wings backwards. So we're making that 3D effect on them. You can position them wherever you want them. If you want them higher or lower, it's completely up to you. There's no right or wrong for where to put this bit. It's probably an idea to lay it flat now until the glue for those wings has completely dried. Glue's dry. Let's move on and glue this bit to the front. She's nearly ready now. I'm going to do this standing up even though I know it's a bit harder for you to see because I think I'll need both my hands to hold her in place. And her sliding down. Oh, that glue's wet, so a few paper clips will stop that from happening. There we are. Then last but not least is this piece, which just glues on the top like that. But we're going to bend it round a little bit to fit more with the curve in the front of the dress. We're not folding, it's just a sort of gentle roll, ending up with this shape. Glue along the top. I'm not going to glue the sides down, just that top bit. Ooh, don't drop it like I just did. And then put that on there. From where we rolled it, it won't quite glue in the very middle. There's a tiny little gap, but the edges will go on. Just hold this tight. If you wanted to, and your card wasn't as thick as mine, you could stick it right round on these bottom bits to roll round and line up with the skirt underneath. That'll look neater, but if your card's really thick, that'll be hard. Mine would be hard because it's so thick, but I think it would look better. I'm going to give it a try. Give it a go. Line it up, the edges on those top bits. It's not going to want to stay in this position because it's so thick. Normally with my projects it doesn't matter what thickness of cardstock you use, but the super thick one for this may have been a mistake. But I really wanted her to be shiny. It's actually going on a lot better than I thought. That finishes that off nicely. Okay. Well, she's not stuck on very straight, this bit, but it lines up. I think that's because I didn't stick these bits on very straight. There's always a project in every craft countdown that I struggle with. And it's just bad luck, I guess, on this one that we're on the last day and it came up. I was so close to making it a whole countdown with no struggle project. But it was not to be. It wasn't too bad though, was it? So here we go. Our freestanding Christmas tree angel is all finished. She looks lovely, all shiny and sparkly, decorated all the way around. And she will go beautifully on top of the Christmas tree like that. Or you could have her just displayed on a shelf, and she looks just as lovely there too. It was a little bit of a challenge. We got there in the end. Hopefully I made enough mistakes that you should be able to not have to make those same mistakes. But overall, I'm really happy with how she turned out. I hope that you enjoyed this video on how to make this Christmas tree angel. Now, one change I made after I finished recording all of the video was that I decided to add a little bit of glue to the wings here on the other side to glue her to the back of the angel. I just felt like they were coming down a little bit too much for my liking. So by gluing this bit here, where you can see that has just kind of made it a little bit more stable and sturdy. So you may wish to also do that too if you also think your wings are going back a little bit far. But here she is in all her glittery, sparkly glory. I really hope that you've enjoyed crafting along with me for the Christmas Craft Countdown. Please let me know in the comments under the video which project was your favourite. Also, if you've got any other ideas for any future Craft Countdown projects, let me know. I love getting suggestions. And that brings us to the very end of the last video for this countdown. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and Christmas fun. The fun doesn't stop there. We've still got time for some more freebies before Christmas. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Bye!